Good morning children, welcome to our English class. Today we are going to look into the third Roman number of vocabulary from this lesson, and it is idioms. Okay, so you all know idioms, but you just may not know that they are called idioms, because in our mother tongue we have so many idioms, so many sentences that we use, which does not mean literally what they are, but in the sense of something else. In the sense of saying something, we use different terms or different sentences uh, to talk about them. Okay, so let's see what are idioms. Okay, so from the textbook I'll read out what is given in the textbook first, and then we will go through. So first, basically, it does not mean literally. Literally means whatever it is say the statement is or the sentence is, it doesn't mean it literally. Okay, they occur in every language. Of course, we have in every language we use them as like naturally they come out. They have been using in from the past, and we also tend to use them by listening to them. So let's see what is given in the textbook first. Okay, so it is from page number 63 from the old textbook, and third Roman number of vocabulary, which is idioms. Now read the following sentences from the play. So there are some sentences taken from the play. Which play? Tenali Raman. Tenali painted a horse. And it's only fair that if he doesn't make good his boast. So it's only fair that if he doesn't make good his boast. So let me write it for you. It's only fair if he doesn't make good his boast. I hope you remember where it. So doesn't make good. Now I hope you remember where we have encountered this sentence. This sentence we saw where one of the courtiers was saying about, because he keeps boasting, no, Tenali Raman keeps boasting about himself. He boasted that he would do such a great job, better than an artist. So let's see why they are talking this. The underlined phrase in an idiom, this phrase make good, this phrase is an idiom. So make good is an idiom. What is an idiom? An idiom is a phrase similar to the phrasal verbs you have just learnt. So it is similar to the phrasal verb. It is difficult to guess the meaning of an idiom by looking at the individual words. So just by looking at these words, it doesn't make much sense for us. Like just make good, what does it mean? Like make good. So here, make good means to carry out a promise. So in this context, in this chapter, in this lesson, or in the play that we have gone through, here it means that to carry out a promise, which means because he promised to the king that he would paint a better scenery, or he will bring a better painting than the artist who has come into the king's court. But so he has to keep up his promise, no? He should make good. He should make it look good. He should make it the best out of it, or keep the promise that he had made. Some other idioms that begin with make are make merry, make do, make it, make the most of something, make something of yourself, and make like. So there are several idioms which with make merry, make it, make the most of it. So etc. So there are quite a few idioms with make, which starts with make. Now look up these idioms in a dictionary and find out what they mean. So if you go through a dictionary where it can show, certain phrases and their meanings as well. It does not only give the certain dictionaries, most of the dictionaries does show uh, the word, the meaning of it, and also give an example as well. And it also give the other forms like noun form, adjective form, or an adverb form of these words that we use. So try to find out from the dictionary what they mean exactly. Okay. So let's see, there are some more idioms given here. So today we are going to talk about them. Okay, children. So guess their meanings and use them in your own sentences. That is what I want you to do as well. So look at those verbs, phrases, and then find out the meaning and try to, once you know the meaning, it is easy to put it into a sentence. So you can make your own sentence. First find the meanings, okay? So because they does not mean uh, literally what they are written here. So make the most of it means what will you make? You can't make. But where do we use certain phrases? Make the most of it means, see, when somebody is going for an interview or a family union or a party or something. So somebody who's not going along with them can say to them like, make the most of it means make use of that beautiful time, spend good enough time. Or it can also be used as make most of it means, so నీకు చేతనైందంతా చేసే అంటాం కదా, that one. So do your best. That is that kind of a thing. Make most of it means utilize చేసుకో. Make most of it of your make use of most of the videos you watch, which means like you have to make use of it. Make most of it. Get more as much information as you can. Utilize it for the full length. That is what it means. But it doesn't mean making something, literally making something. Okay. So here are some more examples and I will read one by one and we will see some examples, or we'll try to put them into sentences, or try to find the meaning of them. Okay. So the first one is once in a blue moon. So once in a blue moon means once in a while. వన్స్ ఇన్ అ బ్లూ మీన్స్ ఎప్పుడో అమావాస్యకి పొన్నంకి ఒకసారి అంటారు కదా. సో that is what it means. Once in a blue moon means not regularly, not in regular intervals. It is mostly once in a while, which you do not even know. Like, see, some people neglect their classes. Some children do not attend the school regularly. They come like a week and then they take a week and a half break and then they come again. So it happens. Some children, because if they are not monitored by their parents properly, we do have certain children in our school because parents are both working or they are in separate places due to certain reasons, and these children are raised by their grandparents and they do not know much about controlling, and they just think that this child is coming to the school every day and going. But I have noticed one of the students like that, so that is why I brought up that example. And this kid used to come until the school gate every day, and soon after his grandmother left, he used to run away. He used to go around the streets, play, and then go home by the time school is finished. And he used to come to class once in a blue moon. So నెలలో ఒకసారి రెండు సార్లు క్లాస్కి వచ్చేవాడు. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఇట్ మీన్స్, వన్స్ ఇన్ అ బ్లూ మూన్, ఎప్పుడో ఒకసారి. నెక్స్ట్ వన్, bury the hatchet. Bury the hatchet is used when you are trying to hide something, like keep it to yourself kind of thing. If you tend to know some secret If you know some secret, or you really found out some information which more certainly, like, it's obtained illegally, you're not supposed to know it, or you're not supposed to tell to everybody even though you know it. So you have to bury the hatchet, means you have to keep it low, you have to keep it to yourself. Next one, to make both ends meet. So this is used quite often. So make both ends meet means, um, in certain cases some families have problems, right? So if brother and sister, not like not older, see, if your aunt and your father, like, they had some disturbances or some disputes, and they're not talking to each other, at some point you have to bring them together on some issues, so in those cases it is hard to bring both the ends together, then you can use that. It is hard to make both the ends. It can also be used in certain cases where a person is working too hard all his life, and all his life means he's working all day long and he's tired and he can't spend time with his family. So he can't make both the ends meet, because he can't make both of them happy. He can't make everything possible. That is what it means. So అందరినీ satisfy చేయలేకపోవచ్చు. That is where you can use, we can't make both the ends meet. And if the salary is not enough, if the person's salary is not enough and he wants to do something else for his children, for his children's education, then also you can use that word, which is, you can't make both the ends meet. అన్నీ చక్కగా కుదిరిపోవట్లేదన్నమాట, you can't make it possible, then you can use that word, phrase actually. So next one, to burn the midnight oil. So to burn the midnight oil means you're wasting the time. Instead of this one, we can also use a idiom like, you're killing the daylight. Both are similar, both are used in similar situations and similar contexts, okay? So you're killing the daylight. Let me write it for you. Now, here, you are killing the daylight means, is anyone going with a knife and killing? Nobody is literally killing the light, but it means that we are wasting the time. Killing the daylight means chop chop. One of my boss used to say when I was working back in UK, one of my boss used to say that, chop chop, you're killing the daylight, which means you have to finish fast, finish the work fast. It's already a lot of time passed now. So killing the daylight means time waste చేసేస్తున్నాము అని చెప్పే సందర్భాల్లో వాడచ్చు. And in the same manner, this one also, to burn the midnight oil. To burn the midnight oil means, it is an old idiom, like it has come from long time now. So burn the midnight oil means, see, you in the olden days, like not in our time, and there were no electricity and all these facilities, so they used to have a lamp for light in case they wake up in the middle of the night. So we are burning the oil, burning the midnight oil. So that, which means that you're wasting your time. You have to make it fast, hurry up. So in those contexts, you use these sentences. So only those are given to you. I was wondering maybe if you can find new idioms other than that are given in the textbook, and also you can find some Telugu ones, Telugu idioms, and they can be translated, or there will be English idioms which are related to the same thing that you might have known in Telugu also. So try to find some idioms, and it is fun to learn, and it is nice to use them as well, because older people or our parents and grandparents usually use them. If we are listening to them, if we grow up listening to them, then we will also use them. Okay, but it is not see, for example, అమ్మ వాడితో వెళ్ళాలంటే నా చెప్పులో రాయిలాగా ఉంటాడు వాడు అంటారు. చెప్పులో రాయి అంటే వాడు నిజంగా చెప్పులో రాయా కాదు. సో బట్ ఇట్ మీన్స్ దట్ హీఈస్ సో పెయిన్ఫుల్. హౌ ఈస్ ద ఫీలింగ్ ఆఫ్ హ్యావింగ్ a small stone in your shoe? Can you walk with it? Can you run with it? You can't even take few steps with your small pebbles or small stones in your shoes. You can't walk with them. So it means it is that hard. Does not mean he is literally in your shoes. It means that it is that hard to be around him, or if he is around with us, it is not easy for us to manage. So that is what it means. So there are several Telugu idioms, and you will know them, and there are few English ones as well. You can try to find them. See, I used to say, like, whenever I had to speak on a stage, or if I have to give some lecture in front of my speech in front of my classmates, or on the stage, wherever I have to talk alone by myself, I used to say that I am having butterflies in my tummy. Butterflies in my tummy means I am not having any butterflies inside my stomach, but that means that I am having some uneasiness, some kind of fear and tension I'm feeling. Does not mean that I'm having butterflies in my stomach. Okay, so these does not mean literally means అవి ఏ విధంగా సౌండ్ అవుతున్నాయో అది ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా అదే మీనింగ్ కాదు. వేరే అర్థాన్ని చెప్పడానికి ఈ సెంటెన్సెస్ ఇలాగ ఇడియమ్స్ రూపంలో వాడతాం. Understood, children? So only for your sake I keep telling this in every video, but because many of you have requested to talk in Telugu, I have been trying to explain it in Telugu as well. So there are lot of idioms, children. You can use them, and try to find more. Even in English, చెప్పులో రాయి, that is a phrase, and in English as well, pebble in a shoe. It is an idiom, and he's like a pebble in my shoe, which means that, oh my god, he's such a pain, I can't bear with him. Baboy vaadta unte talkai noppi naku antam kada. So that is how we mean. Instead of saying it literally or straight away, we use idioms in certain cases. Okay, try to find more idioms for your homework. I'm thinking of giving you. Yeah, try to find out the meanings with make. So follow this one, children. This one in the textbook. This here they gave a few with make, and then there are few that are given here. You can try to find more, at least another 5 English idioms, and also try to find the meanings of make. Make merry, make it, make the most of it. So try to find the meanings for them. See, in every class, I am literally giving you these words, but I have never given you the answers. I think I have given you for the first 2 units, but from the 3rd unit, I haven't given you any answers. I'm asking you to write, but I'm not giving you any answers. So don't worry about it, children. I'm going to, instead of question and answers, I will try to send the grammar part for every lesson that we have crossed through so far. and I will write them. I still didn't find time to write it, but I will write them so you can compare and see if there are any mistakes for you. Some I already sent, so that's not whenever I send the pictures of the textbook, you also received the answers in them, so that is fine until there. I think from the third and fourth unit you haven't received any pictures because you all have textbooks. Previously I sent pictures along with my classes because you did not have textbooks then, but now that you all received the textbooks, I am not sending any pictures of the work. So I'm just telling the page numbers and you and the topic, so you can go through from your textbook and learn them. It is important for you to learn English. It does not go wasted, children, whether you have school or not, because it is not in our hands at the moment. The situation has gone so worse, and now, but don't worry about it. It's like our school is being sanitized everywhere every day, and every care is being taken so that children do not mingle with each other. So do not worry about coming to school if at all it reopens, and please do come in case it reopens, and follow the classes and learn. That is what I keep telling, because your brains should not go dull, because I've been seeing children who did not follow the video classes properly so far, and they do not know where to start now. We are almost at the ending of the syllabus, and now they don't even know what is there in the first unit. So I don't want you children to be like that. Every teacher has taken care to send you all the videos every single day, and they made sure that you received the videos and that you are watching them and you're writing whatever is taught. In only extenuating circumstances, very few from each class, very few students did not have a smartphone or some other problem. So we were still we already asked you to watch the DD lessons that came in the uh, Doordarshan channel. So now they have stopped from a week, but prior to that there were videos, there were classes for every single class from 1st to 10th. So hope everybody has been following the classes carefully, and because the more I see the children who came to school now, I feel worried about you people as well, because they did not follow the lessons carefully, they did not write any notes so far, and I do not want to put so much pressure all at once, because I can't just dump everything into your brains in 1 or 2 months. This is like a year syllabus, 1 year syllabus we are trying to learn. And especially when coming to English, English is useful for you wherever you go, outside the school, college or university, or if you even if you go abroad, everywhere you need English. So mother tongue is good. I'm not criticizing anything. Mother tongue is necessary, but we don't use much in computers, right? We don't use much when we are going to an official offices and all. Everybody speaks good English. So, and we are seeking for English medium. We are voting for English medium because everybody wants to have good opportunities. Software engineers, they don't speak in Telugu. Their work is not in Telugu. They have to do everything in English. So grammar is important. Even though you speak very well, if you do not write properly or you do not have proper vocabulary, it doesn't make any sense. It looks very odd. So keep learning, children, and reading and doing the works carefully. Hope everything settle down fast, and we'll have proper school again. Alright children, so your homework today is finding the meanings for make, to, make it, and all these make phrases that starts with make from a dictionary. Find the meanings and try to make own sentences, and and the other one is try to find more new idioms. That's it. Finding more idioms and finding the meanings and making their own sentences. That is your homework. And in the meantime, slowly I will send the grammar part, the notes, the corrections that you might need. And that's it for today, children. We'll call it a day, and I hope you all will have a good day. Okay, enjoy your nice sunny weather and cold winter nights. So for now, this is it, children. Follow the classes. Thank you.